Hello again, all. Today we're going to talk about style and system. For those who may have missed the introduction, this is all about building a LARP from the ground up. So, style and system is very important depending on the type of game you're trying to present. I'm going to look at a few factors and compare them to one another to help you possibly narrow down what you want to use. Now, first of all, you're going to have to look at immersion versus chamber. Is your LARP going to be one that is designed for having everyone completely in costume all the time, in character, as entirely as we can, or is it going to move to our chamber experience where we can have suspensions of disbelief? We can have modular moments where the characters are brought into another room and it quickly becomes theater of the mind of what they're doing, either delving into a dungeon if it's a fantasy, or dealing with a large warehouse when you don't have the room to do so in smaller groups. This is something you're going to have to consider, as depending on the location you have and the room you have to work with, as well as the manpower, there will determine how much you can set up and how much you're willing to invest in the initial immersiveness of the experience. Second thing, which I feel a lot of people don't consider very much, is what is the slider between competitive moments and cooperation? Now, there are advantages to both of these, and I find a happy medium is the best. However, I will go into more detail. Competitive is the players are their own competition. There's very few NPCs in the world. There's very few events outside what the PCs are doing or problems being brought in into the environment or outside forces. This is often one where the characters have a lot of personal power and have to choose how to use it and develop based on one upping one another. Will cooperative is there's more outside events. Characters need to come together and pool their resources for a chance of survival. Specialization is key, and finding people you can work with builds upon this. This creates two different kinds of communities. There are those that crave the high-end competitive nature. These will usually end up with large LARPs building down until there is a core group that controls everything, which is unhealthy for a LARP environment. But in small groups, this can be a sign of flourishing. This can cut down the amount of prep you need to do, as a lot of the drama and events come from this core group expanding out and trying to influence their control. Alternatively, with co-op, you need outside factors and problems coming in. There's always going to be those slice of life moments where people are happy and getting along, but it's the outside forces that will really push the plot along. Having small adventures near the starting town example, or building up this starting town, this could even lead to multiple LARPs competing with each other if you can all have a synchronized world. Which brings me to my next point, establish versus own. So, you're going to need a system most likely, even if it's as simple as an agreement of how mechanics work, especially with chamber and parlor LARPs, which is my main topic rather than buffer. Using established systems often has the advantage of the rules are written, there's a format, as well as there is usually a hierarchical for form organization supporting these LARPs. I'm looking at like By Night Studios and the Vampire the Masquerade games fall deeply in this category. But there are a number of other LARP systems out there that may not have as much oversight. The advantage with these systems is, like I said, rules is written, it has a following that you can draw upon. The downside is it's not your own. People who come in because of the organization are going to expect the organization to be followed, to be following the world plot, etc. Versus your own, which can be more work. You need to develop a system, you need to perpetuate this system how you choose to, which leads to a lot of legwork. But then you are in control of the system, you're in control of the events, and you have no outside expectations coming in to this world, which I've seen be a problem for some people in the past. So with this in mind, once you answer these questions, you'll be able to kind of square down to the system you're looking for. If you need something competitive or co-op, if you're looking for something immersive, it depends on the space you have, where if it's a chamber, you need a way of pulling people to the side and running out those scenes. These are all things to consider while picking your system. And with that, I will see you in the next part of the series. Hope everyone's having a great week, and I will see you at the table. Bye for now.